Okay, so and if you want, I can share the link for a cat model in Sketchfab. That's another thing. Please do that. Actually, yeah, please. But is it good topology wise? That looks very bad. I'll just give you mine. I'll I'll just give you mine. I'll just give you mine. Okay. Okay. So since it's for a commission, I completely forgot that we were gonna continue doing the rig for this lecture. So I'm just gonna go backtrack on it and kind of start it out. I didn't go too far, so totally fine. Let me go back here. Bam. So this is my cat. I already finished modeling it and everything. The only thing that I'm missing is just adding the whiskers and some of the called those little eyebrow things. But yeah, the cat is pretty much done. And this is how the skeleton's gonna most likely gonna be looking like. Just ears, face rig, and some IKs as well for some tail things. So let's do that. Go ahead and delete it, and let me give you the file of this. Uh, I can just give you the. Oh, I can give you the FBX. Hello there, bad. Okay. So file, export, FBX. I'll give you the FBX for now. FBX. Dun dun dun. Please do not sell this as this is commission work. Please, thank you very much. Let me give you download here. Yeah, there you go. Bam. There you go. Nice sketch pad. Fine. It's fine. So I give you the FEX there. The rig is fully. I mean, the character is fully through subdivisions and stuff. Topology is fully there. Um, cat model's $100. No, no. Um, there it is. And now we can get started with armature. Just let me know the once you guys have the what's it called? The cat going on. You guys have it open and done. Let me put this here. Don't worry about the other fancy stuff. This is just for camera thing. A little spinny spin. This is a controller to control the camera. Pretty nice stuff. Okay, you got it imported. Nice. Okay, let me hide all of this. Bam. Okay, so now let's get started adding a armature. Let me turn on some music because it's gonna be kind of there you go. Okay, so we add an armature. First, I what I do is just have this one here, and we go to the armature settings. Let me lower the volume of this thing. Okay, so we go over here where it's viewport display, and we set that to front. That way we can see the bones no matter what. They're gonna be non-hidden. There we have it. The first one I always call God. You can call it main, but whatever you want to call it. First one here is called God.
This feels a bit sacrilegious.
Okay, it's just names, bro. It's just names. It's just names.
Uh,
What?
Main? I'm gonna name mine Main.
Okay, whatever. So what the God bone does is that it or root, yeah, you can call it root, whatever you want it. What it does is that it's gonna be the whole base. Oh yeah, it's gonna be the whole base of all of the bone. So it basically controls it completely. It's an easier form of moving the whole character rather than having to select each and every single one of the bones to just move the entirety of the character. So let me hide the images there because it's bothering me. Okay, so starting from this one, we're gonna duplicate it. Shift D. Let me turn on my screencast. There you go. Okay, so Shift D. It's gonna have the same name. If not wrong, it's gonna be called God Showpoint or whatever yours is. Um. Okay. Anyways, so we're gonna start out with the torso or just belly. I don't know what you could call this part. I guess if you search up on cat anatomy and names, I guess. Even this thing. So they could call Brask. I really just go for names that I know. There's shoulder blades, backbones. Um, shoulder, back, thigh, shoulder. Okay, belly. Okay, whatever. You can call it belly, for example. Boom, belly. And here we can call this one. I extruded it, by the way, over here. We're just gonna kind of like follow the whole shape of the character. Doesn't have to be everything. For example, I could start here, not subdivide this. Put this here. Maybe this one we call back. This one we call belly. Bam. This we call torso, for example. Torso. This one we call neck. So I'm setting from point to point. So this here and here is gonna grab all of this section for the topology. It's gonna be called back. This whole thing is back. All of this section here is um belly, and all of this part here torso. Here we have the neck, and here we have the head. So just think as the bones, the whole entirety from this point to that point. It's gonna drag and move all of the topology. Same here, same here. If you want more like control, you subdivide it, have more bones to work with. But this so far for movement, thinking of that this part is where it's gonna bend, is more than fine. For tails, it's when it needs more bones. Because if we have, gonna duplicate this, gonna there you go, rotate it. So if we have a singular bone, it's just gonna move the tail just one sided. It's gonna look like a stick. So we need more faces, right? Let me first name this one tail, because once you subdivide it, it's gonna have the same name just with numbers, and we can subdivide it again. We can grab 4 or 5, many subdivisions you want. I'm gonna leave it like this, so it's a smooth movement. So here we have the tail. I have it fully straight because it's just easier to work with on rigging. Once you have like a tail that it's, I don't know, like all curved and stuff, it's kind of painful. So there we have the main, I guess, bones for the whole body, at least on the middle part, because now we need the limbs, we need the face, and some of the ears. Mostly we also need the top and bottom of the mouth. So I'm gonna duplicate this, Shift D. I'm gonna rotate it. I'm just gonna point to the direction as to where the top is. I'm gonna call this top lip, and then duplicate the same thing, bottom lip. So I duplicated it from neck. You can also just set the parent to head instead of neck, but it doesn't matter. Well, it actually does. It does, pardon me. It does matter. Because, like, if you move this head, the mouth won't move, and that doesn't make sense. So we have to set the parent to head. Now, if you move let me go to post mode. If you move the head, it moves the mouth. The neck moves the head because it's parented to it. So everything that is like here, like so, connected with one another, is a set of parent hierarchy, which sets what controls another one. As you can see here, I'm just moving these, and it controls all the other ones. And here, as you can see here, it's not moving the tail because it's not parented to it. And that's totally fine. I don't think we need any movement there for the tail. Don't think so. Unless we do some nice, neat stuff later on. So, let's do the limbs now. So for cats, is if we can see some cat skeleton. Let me lip. Here it is. Theirs is forward, backwards, forward. So it's kind of like a zigzag. It's like a little S. So I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna duplicate this one. Gonna rotate it, and we're gonna have to look at this skeleton. Let me pull out my pure ref. Bam. So this thing, bam. Here we have it. make this smaller so we can sort of see it here. So here we have the forward, frontward thing. So here it's kind of like this way. It goes from the back forward, goes back here again. So back here again, and then it goes forward again, something like so. Um, think this part. I made this wrong with the modeling process. I think this has to be more elevated, kind of like as if not touching the ground, but that's totally fine. We can go along with this as long as it sort of makes sense. And here we have the whole feet. I am not going to move and rig the entirety of the. I have a quick question. I'm not able to see the bones that's drag on top of the cat. Right. So go to armature on data, this thing, and click on viewport display. Click on in front. It's gonna unhide it. Okay. May have gone too fast for me. If I have, don't worry, I can slow it down. Slow it down. I'll manage. Okay. Good, good, good. But anyways, so those are the whole like section for a little zigzag. It's just kind of like copying the whole skeleton of a cat. And now we need some controller bones. Before that, we need to name our bones here. So here is called femur, I guess. So I'm gonna put femur dot left because that's his left side. Dot left is just dot L. It's a way for later on to symmetrize it, duplicate it on the other side, kind of like mirroring it. So it works by the name of the bone. Here we have tibia. Call that tibia, I guess. Tibia. L. Here we call this tarsals. L. And then I'm just gonna call this 1 feet. Okay, there you go. Now we need the controller bones. So these are the ones for IK and all that stuff. If you don't want to do it with IKs, that's totally fine. But that's a me thing. I prefer them. So for those, we extrude them. And I am going to disconnect the bone. And boop, disconnect the bone. So here we have both for IK. So this one's going to call it pull dot L. And this one's going to be called, got the name. You can put IK. There's a name heal, IK heal. Dot L. And pull, I could put IK pull. Okay. There you go. That's for inverse kinematics there. And we could actually, what else? We could do the ones here as well. So I'm going to just duplicate this one. The one in front looks similar. But it's actually a bit different. Tarsals, meta. I think I named the wrong thing here. It's not tarsals. It's metamarsals? Or is it? I don't know. Probably there's some wrong issue with the naming that I put. You guys let me know. Okay, so here. I'm gonna duplicate it. It's a bit similar. Thing is, it looks quite different as to how I modeled it. It's not bam bam bam. It's a bit more forward than that. It's like the other direction. This thing goes this way. It goes in, and then it just goes out. So I'm just gonna dissolve this one. I have one. I don't think we need that many for all the Thinky Winky. You just do this, this, and all that. So it's just one less. I put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then there's a 3, but it's still like same direction pretty much. So that's totally fine. Okay, cool. Give me a second. Holy moly. Okay. Great, I'm back. Okay, so um here we have the whole bone or the whole cat. There's actually not much other than this to do. Ah, never mind. Never mind. We need the me extrude that. Clear the parent. Disconnect parent. Yeah. And then just do the ears. Me right now. Okay, cool. Bad is just here. And here we have the ears. I subdivided it so we have more control over it. And I'm just gonna move it until the curve. As you can see here, this bone is gonna take all of that. It's gonna make it able to move. Same for this bone as you drag it, and all of this covers that part, covers this part, covers that part, covers this part. That's what each of the bones does. The only bones that we have for other things or extra bones are this one, which are for controller purposes, which is inverse kinematics. Are we going to animate it? No. This is just rigging. We could have another week or so to animate it. But I don't know if I have that gap because this cat is for a client. Yeah. So here it is. Boom. Now we're done with the entirety of the armature. Never mind. I forgot the eyes, guys. Duplicate that bitch. Put that into head, and then cat number 2 walk cycle. What you mean, like do two cat walk cycles? Don't forget to put eye dot left, and also don't forget to name the ears. So bottom ear, bottom. Do I have them? Bottom. Okay, bottom ear dot left, and I'm gonna call that top ear dot left. Same for this eye dot left. There you go. Cool. Try to line that up, make it comfortable if you can. You can just select all of them, size them to 0, so it flattens, and there you go. Boom. So now we have control for the eye, control for the top and bottom lip. If you want more control on the edges, we can do that actually. Let's do that real quick before we continue. Could add that to the side of the lip, just if you want to control that a bit better. There you go. And here we call this one uh corner lip corner, I guess. Lip corner dot left. Okay. So now that we have all of them laid out, we can do some pose modifications. Because right now we just have the FKs. Bam, bam, bam. Beam, 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 beam. First, I'd like to get the rigs working how I want them to work before I do the whole weight painting and stuff. So, let's do a few things. We need the IKs to work. And I think I have to set the parent to God for the IKs instead. If I don't remember wrong. There you go. Boom. Because these are kind of like floaters. Also take off, let me select all of these. Take off the deform, right click it, copy to selected. Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Again. So, yep. There we have the bones. They're going to be working for controllers right now. Great. So now, need to work on IKs. How do we do this? For the length. What's up, bad? Hello. Okay. So how do we do this? We have two things. We need to grab this one. It's going to be taking control over the up and down movement, or just left and right, actually. The whole movement for the IK. And we got to align it with these two controllers, one being the pull, one being the whole heel. So how do we do that? We select this one, go to pose mode, select this one, Ctrl Shift C. Wait, no, hold up. This one, hold Shift in this one, Ctrl Shift C. I think that one's inverse kinematics. Wrong one, the other way. This one first, then the other one. Inverse kinematics, Shift C. Here you can see all the constraints that you can add onto the bone. The one we're going to be using right now is inverse kinematics, and boom. So this thing here, can go here to the right, bone constraints, and we select the pull target, which is this one. We set this to 90 degrees. Oh, let me set this back to the pull. There you go. So set that to 90 degrees because it's going to go to the side. Boom, 90 degrees. And now we have the whole IK movement, as you can see. Pretty simple. We didn't even have to do much. The only thing that you can do is have the chain length to set to 2 or to 3. That's how much it's gonna, I guess, what's it called? Influence. If you set it to 0, it's gonna automatically go for the highest parent on its hierarchy. For example, this one, I think it has no parent. Yep. So if this one we set to the parent as back, and this one to the one that's called torso, so they're parented with it. Once they move with it. So you can see, so we didn't have that. It's going to take priority on that parent. So we're gonna set what's the chain length for it. If not, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna move literally the whole fucking body. So 3. 3 works fine as it moves. All of that. Actually, holy shit. That's bad. There you go. That's because of the pull. To fix that, you can set the pull set to parent as the heel. So it's gonna move with the back heel there. As you can see, now it points to the direction that the heel is pointing towards. And if you just wanna kind of like edit it a bit more, then you can do so. Boom. Okay. So there we have very basic IKs. And we have to do the same thing on the other side. So this one, so we can tell we set this one to the heel 0.01 as parent. Go back to pose mode and do the whole inverse kinematic shit. Don't forget to set the pull target for the bone and the chain length as 2 being 3, so it doesn't wait, not 3, 2, because it only has 2 bones, so it doesn't break the whole thing. Okay, there you go. Forget to put the 90 degrees there. Bam. So now we have IKs. Oh, that's another thing. Ooh, very funny. So the form of the bendiness, technically, of the bone is going to dictate the how it bends, right? So if it's going this way, this thing is curved, it's going to curve that way. If this thing is the other way, it's going to curve that way. That's how it pretty much works. The cats have it the other way for some reason. I don't know if it's fully natural though. I feel like it's gonna break. But no, I think that's how it works, yeah. We'd have to look at some more like anatomy and some animation references, but so far so good. Okay, so there we have it. We have the whole cat rig going on. Okay, so now what else do we need? We need the ears and we need the tail. So let me see if I can remember how to do this part. I wanna make it that if you move this sole bone, everything just follows along and it's a bit smoother rather than just a whole fucking stick. To do that, you start from the last part. I'm actually gonna extrude it again because I'm gonna have it as a controller. Gonna call this one tail control. There you go. Oops. Uh, gonna disconnect it. Uh, Parent it to God actually. Boom. Whoa, not connected. There you go. Parent it to God. So now we have this bone. There's just a whole controller for it. Right. So if I remember correctly, we can do is have this do a dance track, right? There you go. So that's what it does. It kind of moves it. We do the same thing to the other one, same to the other one, the same to the other one, same to the other one, same to the other one, and we just kind of go in that form. Okay, this one is only moving. Right. This one has to be moved, right? So you can't move it right now. It's following all of the other ones. So what you have to do is a copy, no, track two, right? Was it a track two? Track two. Bam. Put that first. Select it to the controller, and that's not moving. Hold up. Having certain issues, which is not great. Should be the other way around. No. Hold up. Having a few little issues. Should be following this thing. This thing should be track two. Hold up. Tail control. Should be pointing towards it. Okay, it is pointing towards it. We need to find out the direction that it's pointing towards it. In order for that, if not wrong, it's here, viewport display, show the axes. Bam. There you go. So now, what we need to do is that the top part here is pointing at this controller. Why, you might say? Because this is going to control the whole movement of all of those bones. This is just a controller itself. Okay, so here we have the top axes, which should be Y, right? Okay. So if I set this to see, oh, so that's tracking it on the other direction, right? Negative Y should be set to Y. There you go. That's working. It is tracking it. The other ones aren't moving with it. They're just kind of broken. Let's do that real quick. Pose, clear transform. I feel like I'm missing something. Hold up. I remember this one had to move with that one. The other ones had to track the movement. Let's see if we lower the influence. Copy to selected. There you go. Oh, okay, there you go. It was just the influence was too high. So select all of them, and where it says damn track, just lower the influence, maybe like 0.5. Copy to selected. And now if you go over here, here's the controller. This one is pointing to the controller. So this is what allows you to basically say, I want this tail to move this direction. And the other ones just follow the same direction, kind of delayed. You can see it makes this wiggle effect. You want to make it more like more um, wiggly. You increase the influence. And if you want a different effect, then you can do just lower a few, increase another one, and it's going to do a higher wiggle effect there, lesser here. As you can see, it's very fun to play around with. I'm going to set this to higher. I'm going to probably put this to lower. Let's see what that does. And that's kind of interesting. But no, yeah, just play along with it. And as you can see, we already have some wiggling effect. The only thing is that although it wiggles and shit, this is very weird. Hold up. I'm just going to set it to 0.5. Okay. Although it wiggles and stuff, We also need it to be able to curl. So I guess you can just curl it yourself, but that's gonna be very painful. For that, we would have to think something through. I actually don't have an idea how that feature can work, but that's more complex. That's more of you to kind of figure out on your free time. I have to figure it out later on. So yeah, boom. That's very straightforward with that. We can do the same thing um with the ears. We do a stamp track, there 0.6, and you can just rotate it. I guess doesn't do as much right now because it's low. Let's do this. We do another subdivision. Edit mode, subdivision. Oh, duplicate subdivision. There you go. I'm gonna do 3 for this one. I'm gonna put a damp track there, damp track there. I'm gonna lower that to 0.7. And this one you can just rotate if not wrong. Hold up, it's not doing what I want it to do. Oh, it's because of this. 0. There you go. This one you can just rotate yourself. If you don't want to move it, you can lock the position here um all throughout there so you don't accidentally move it. Same here. If you don't want to like just extend it by accident, you can just lock that in. Awesome. We just want to rotate it technically. And we already finished the whole rig. Nope. There's one thing missing. This one is not parented to God. There you go. So now this should all move everything. Nope. This one is missing the parent to God. There you go. Hopefully it didn't connect. Okay, there you go. So now even moving it, it moves the tail. It's funny. Same for the ears. It's goofy. I love it. So there we have the whole rig. Other things like these, you don't have to be too complex. They're just gonna be moving like a few pieces. And here we have the eye case. So now that we have all of that, we need to pass it on to the other side. How do we do that? We can do a edit mode, select everything, go to, I think, was it mesh? No, it was armature. Armature, and then click symmetrize. There we have it. We have 2 sections. I did the eye case first before symmetrizing it, so it does all of them together without need of redoing anything. Um, there we have it. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. We have the all controllers, and we have everything fully technically operating. It does some weird movement if you feel like that's goofy. Bam, 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 bam. But no, yeah, we have the rig. Now, how do we make it a bit more complex? Because it's still possible to make it even more complex than it is right now. One in features and stuff, but let's just make it more comfortable in the sense of prettier. Because right now we're just seeing a bunch of bones. In pose mode, we can have a viewport display. You can select an object. Hello there. Why should we stop here exactly? Um, we could add an empty object as a form of visually controlling it rather than all of those bones. If you guys are having any other issues, just let me know. By the way, but I will continue forward. Right. So here, you can go to empties. If I can find empties, obviously. There you go. So empties, boom. We can add a cube. We can add a cube. We can add a circle, and we can add a sphere. Added those 3 because those are the ones that I mostly use, just for technically everything. You can also add an arrow. The arrows are nice. Like a single arrow. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna name these. This one's gonna be called empty cube. This one's gonna be called circle, empty circle. This one's gonna be empty sphere, so on and so forth. And this empty arrow. Okay. So now if we go to the rig, I'm actually put bones in the tail, but I'll just watch closely on the next ever watch later when it comes to YouTube since it's literally my first day in Blender. It's a bit overwhelming. I got you. All good. All good. Don't worry, Gummy. You take your time with stuff. Bad. Don't worry. It's a lot. It's a lot. So here we have the bones. Here we have the bones. And now if we want to make it prettier or a bit easier to control, here on custom object for the viewport display on the bone section, you can add the empty. For example, this one I want to use the, let's say, empty circle. This one's for moving the head. If I want to move the head, here it is. If I want to move the neck, empty circle again. Boom. And maybe I want to size it up because it's too small. I'm just going to grab the scales, increase that a bit. Missed this section here. And if I want to lower the size of this one, we could also do it this way. Bam. Okay, so now we have this that controls the head, this that controls the neck, and so on and so forth. We can do the same thing for the torso. Torso, I use a cube because it just grabs more sections, just visually more appealing for me. You can use a circle if you want to. Let's see. Bam. And then here we could use another cube or a circle. Let's see how the circle looks. This is how the circle looks. This is how the circle looks on this one. Oops. You can also set the position differently. But that's how it looks. Same for the rotation, if not wrong. You can rotate it. I wouldn't rotate it because it lets me know rotation of actually not bad. Yeah, you can rotate it. Okay. Let me size it up to cover at least majority of this. And then here I'm gonna use another cube, empty cube, and bring down the size. To cover all of this. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Let me move this way a bit. There you go. Same for this. I'm just gonna move that tiny bit back. Okay. So boom. This I know that it covers that part. This I know that it covers that part. And then we have the back. We can do another empty cube. Da, da, da. You can also make custom shapes and use them instead. Really whatever like you like. Okay. There you go. So this part covers that part. This part covers all of that. This part covers this chunk here. Look at that. That's pretty interesting. You could just move things just by moving this. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love rigs. They're super fun. And this one I'm gonna use a what's it called? A sphere. A sphere. Bam. Just because it rotates, we won't rotate it. We can also hide it. Actually, I'm just gonna hide it. Boom, hide it. This one's if we want to use a like if we want to be more copy selected. Want to be more accurate, we can just use that. Copy to selected. Copy to selected. Copy to selected. Where in the fuck is copy? All to selected. There you go. So boom. Actually, no, that's fine with the original size. So if we want to be more accurate, you can like move it and stuff, but it's still gonna affect it even after curving it. so that's fine. And here we have the controller. Controller here, I'm just gonna use a sphere because we're gonna be moving it, rotating it, all that funky stuff, like bing, 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 and moves it. And oh, shoot, it disappeared. Sphere, empty sphere. Okay, let me grab all of this and make this a bit smaller. Awesome. And then we continue on with the same things here. So here we can use, I'm going to use all of these as a circle. Then click on copy to selected. That is very high. Holy shit. Should we use cubes? Empty cube. Copy selected. Yep. Let me make this all of them small. Copy to selected. Alt selected. Okay. Huh. Hmm. So there's a lot going on, and I don't like that. As you can see, I'm just gonna put it as a circle. All of these two empty circle. Yep. Copy to selected, and I'm gonna move it down. Copy all to selected. There you go. These ones are also gonna be circles. Copy to selected, and I'm gonna move it down. Copy all to selected. So boom, here we have the bones that kind of curve in. Okay, there you go. That's this one. I don't think I want it to move, so I'm just gonna lock them. Oops, there you go. Because it's gonna, you just move this, and we can also just move this. Need be. So boom. Now for the controller ones, I like to use the arrow, empty arrow. The only thing is that it points to the wrong direction, so you would have to rotate it 90 degrees on to the which one? To the x-axis. -90. Fun. Same with this. So we're just gonna bloop, bloop, bloop. Copy to selected, copy all to selected. There you go. Now we have arrows that basically help us out. Know what direction they're looking at. I'm gonna size this up this way so we know the direction a bit bigger. We apply these empties to the to be circles. Selected. I'm gonna move it down. I'm gonna increase the size. The auto selected. The auto select. Okay, there you go. Same with this one, circle. Move it down. Okay. I think that's fine. Now for these are too big. Bring them to circles again. Bringing it downwards. Making it bigger. Like so. Maybe like wider instead of just generally big. And then copy auto selected, copy selected. And then copy selected on the distance. There you go. Yeah, that sort of works. So now it looks a bit more organized. We can grab these for the eye case. I'm not too sure what form to do. Neither do I have an idea as to what form to do um for the paw. So I'm just gonna leave them like bones. You guys can do something different. Same for those. I'm fine with how they are. Maybe the eyes we could do something else. Not too certain. The ears for sure. I'm gonna use the sphere. Copy to selected. Oh, because the ears are gonna be rotating like so. You can rotate it, but you can't move it. That's why I set them like that. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna make them a bit smaller. They're too big. No, no, they're fine how it is because it just covers everything. Okay, so there we have the whole rig, kind of like looking a bit nicer. We can turn off the axes now. We can look at this. There's a lot of things going on. That's the only thing that bothers me, but that can be worked out. I'm gonna hide those. Okay, they can be worked out. How? You can set the bones to different bone collections. These are for just hiding, previewing certain parts, technically, of the entirety. So here we can call this one main, which is all of them. We assign it, and we can add another one called face. And in face, I only want these selected bones to show up. So if I hide this, if I hide main here, I can just toggle on face and just look at that. So we can add another one. Call this one torso or body or whatever you want to call it. And let's do that torso is all of these chunks of the main body. Assign that. Gonna call this one tail. If you just want to focus on the tail, that's totally fine. Assign all of that. And then let's call this one front feet, which is all of this. And then back instead of feet, call that front limbs, I guess. And then back limbs. Back limbs, we're gonna have the name suggests all of the limbs on the back. Find that. So now if we hide everything, we just want to see the face, we only want to see the torso, we only want to see the tail, only want to see the front limb or the back limbs. Yeah, you can toggle all of them back up. I forgot to toggle God onto each of the individual ones. I guess it's not required, but you can add it. But boom, there you have it. Maybe in main we just have no. Because in back limbs you might need this one. Back limbs, and I'm gonna add it to front limbs, maybe torso. Honestly, let me just add it to every single one. Just in case. So we have God there. I forgot to set God onto a nicer custom object. I'm just gonna use the circle. Bam. I'm just gonna size it up to cover the whole floor of the character there. So there we have it. I'm just gonna move it a bit forward because it's too far back. There you go. And here is gonna where it's gonna move. You can if you want to make um your own custom object, you can do so. Um, did I miss something? It didn't show. Okay, you can do so because for example, I want to know the direction of the character. If I want to do that, for example, I can do let's see, we can add a circle, for example, and we grab this, we extrude it, bam, and let's say that we only faces, boom. So we have this arrow, and let me rotate this 90 degrees upwards. I think it had to be. Call this front. We set this to the view object here, the front. It's looking back, which is stupid. So we just have to fix that. How do we do that? Make it up 180. And we need to put that in the center. There you go. Boom. And now we just gotta fix the whole positioning issue that's going too much back. There you go. So there we have it. It's too big. I'm gonna do that there. And whatever you do to this other object, it's gonna update. So we can do like something like this, and as you can see, it's updating. And I'm gonna move it further back. Maybe make it a bit smaller. Maybe a bit wider. Something like that. Okay, and there you go. You have the direction there. Um, this is all plainly optional though. Gonna hide this, and that's pretty much it. The only thing that we now need is the whole weight painting and all that funky. Um, because now we have the character rig fully functional. What you can do is grab all of this for now. The automatic Blender's automatic weight painting sometimes work. So I'm setting parent. Let's do automatic weights. And like I said, sometimes works. So there we have the tail doing its thing. Pretty goofy. And we have the back, and the limbs are being funky. And the cool thing, I love the ears. I'm gonna make it a bit more stiff. But I still love how they move. Damn, they're kind of floppy. Floppy. There you go. So no, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Sad thing is that you gotta fix things like these. For example, I just want to move the eyeball, not really move the whole face. And I forgot to do those bones as well. Add the eyebrow and all that funky stuff. But no, yeah. And here it moves the entirety of it rather than a few things. So this is why I say the automatic weight paint sometimes works, not really all the time. And you still have to like paint and remove a few other things. And yeah, as you can see, it works out. The rig is working. That's what matters. You can see if I want the cat to act like a dog, I could do that. I could curve him a bit like this. I could be like he's peeing or something. Oh, I forgot to add those. Um, like peeing or something. I don't know. Like, oops. But yeah. The more you work on the rig, for you to like, feel more comfortable when working on animation, the better the rig is. Let me boop, fix this. I just got in and you already started off with maybe you can make the cat act like a dog. Yeah, pretty crazy. So boom, as you can see, make the cat act like a dog. Um, his arm is broken right now. Because of this. That's an issue. Because if I want to move this to be more, yeah. So I'd have to research a bit more on how the limbs of cats work. I can rotate this. How the limbs of cats work, and just make it a bit more comfortable. But right now, this is like a very basic thing. They're liquid. They're liquid. What's liquid? Oh yeah, the whole cat. That's our meme lords and god. But look at the. The only thing I'm loving about this is the ears. Are you seeing this? You just move them and they're just like lop, 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 bling, 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 bling. Just so nice, bro. Bro, look how it ended up. So no, yeah. Also, if you wanna give them like those type of ears, you can do so like predeterminedly. And even if you move the head, it's gonna act upon that position that you gave it. So it's just kind of like a little physic thing. Right now, we just gotta work on the weights because it's not doing the best, but it's still fun to play with. Get transform, boom. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Yeah, I I finished the whole Rega on Stream Guts. You can watch it. It's still recorded, so you can watch it once I upload it. Um, yep. So for weight painting, uh, I'm not gonna get into that, but for example, boom, you select one. I'm holding alt by the way to click on one rig. Um, on one of the bones, I mean. You can see here how it acts up. From red is the part that it controls the most, and blue the one that it does not like have any say as to movement or control. Um, what you can do to weight paint it, make it better, is like paint it yourself, or use like some blur and stuff. For example, here I could blur this part up just so it's smoother. Same parts here, and etc. etc. Do take in consideration that if there's multiple bones that have a say as to movement, they kind of like stack. So if I, for example, if I do that, this part moves that section, and then I accidentally, for example, paint here. Whenever I move, oh, that's not moving right. If I select this one, let's grab. Actually, hold up. Did I paint this one? Let me see. If I grab this, there you go. That's what I meant. So I painted this section of the shoulder here, and if I start moving that section, then it starts moving the other one in the back. As you can see, bam, 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 which is wrong. So do take into consideration all of that, even if this section also takes condition of that. All bones must be kept on their zone. But no, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the whole rigging thing. Um, there's a add-on that I do recommend. I don't think it works for this version. It works for an older version. I have it for 3 point, 3 point what? 3 point something. 3 point something. Hold up. Projects. 3 point something. Where is it? I think I could check projects, freelance, 30 art. Have it for one. 3 point. Oh, yeah. So I have the there you go. I have the add-on for 3.3.21, which it's a better, like, form of, I guess, auto weight painting. Let me get it for you guys. Surface heat diffuse getting this one. It is paid. It's $30. If you guys want to, you guys can go ahead. It's really worth it. I'm gonna put it there. So it automatically like weight paints everything. Doesn't matter how many objects it has. Does a whole like voxel and some other stuff. It's amazing. Just use it, guys. It's worth it. Um. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Um. You guys need anything else? Just let me know. But that covers all for the character rigging class and how to create it and how to set it up. Also, a few other nice, neat tricks for the cat. But no, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna start leaving. Take care. Bye bye.